For the time being, let's discuss some stocks. We have Nischal Maheshwari, CEO at Institutional Equities and Advisory at Centrum Broking, who joins in. Hi, Nischal. Good morning. Well, Nischal, let's talk about the Tata Group first up. Reports are indicating that Bisleri could be, taken up by them. The rough valuation that they're suggesting is around 7,000 crores. I was looking at some rough math. The revenues are around 2,500 crores. Profitability was around 220 crores or thereabouts. So it appears if this is the valuation, if the deal is going to happen, it'll happen at around 2.5 times price to sales or around 27 times price to earnings. What's your take on the stock?
Morning, Nigel. I think a couple of things out here, basically, if the deal goes through. Obviously, one is consolidation within the industry. Obviously, Bisleri is the largest player. And then we have Aquafina, and thereafter there are smaller brands. But I think Tata will become obviously the largest player in the bottled water market. And as far as valuation is concerned, I think it's a fair number, basically. I don't think so. Tata's, if the numbers are right, they have paid very aggressively. If the numbers both on the top line as well as the profitability is there, I don't think so. Tata's have paid aggressively for this. And with the consolidation, I think they can increase the market dramatically from here. So I think it's a good acquisition basically for Tata.
It's a good acquisition for Tata. How about, since we're talking about the Tata Group stocks, what does one do with Tata Motors? As they say, when it rains, it pours, and now it's pouring bad news. Once again, JLR sales could be under pressure because of what's happening in China. At any point, do you look to buy the dip or do you stay away?
No, I think basically buying the dip makes a lot more sense for Tata Motors now, actually, rather than actually avoiding the stock. Obviously, you have some bad news coming. Obviously, China is an issue. There has been some other issues, basically, as far as the top management changes happen. But I think this is all part of the game. And CV market continues to do well, especially for on the Indian side. Again, they are the leaders as far as EVs are concerned in India. So I think it's a very small space at the moment, but then they have taken leadership there. So I think they are getting their act together, and the stock is not very costly at these prices.
Nischal, yesterday, another sector which was thrown into the mix was this entire fertilizer space. From RCF to NFL to FACT. And the lower end of the fertilizer pack, if I can put it like that, excluding RCF, of course. Anything there in terms of action, activity, news flow, or just momentum-led moves?
So, Prashant, I think one is obviously basically after a good rainfall, you are seeing uptake as far as the fertilizers and agrochemicals are concerned. And then you have a very strong, the news which we are getting from the ground is basically there is a strong sowing which is happening across the board, basically, as far as the winter crop is concerned. So I think more to do with that, but specifically why the PSU stocks have only run away and not the whole agrochemical pack, that needs to be looked at. So I believe it's largely shifting of one sector from the other, basically, in PSUs is the flavor of the season after banks doing so well, defense doing so well. So I think people are figuring out basically what next, and possibly fertilizer pack. Obviously, these are positive as far as fertilizers are concerned. Unless there is some policy change which the market is expecting. I'm not aware of that at the moment.
Okay.
I don't know if you have a view on hospitals as a space and which one do you like. And then after that, do react to the continued move in the rail stocks. I mean, RVNL, Ircon, Railtel, all up sharply once again yesterday.
So I think obviously hospitals, I think the management has enumerated it very clearly, saying that after the elective surgeries have come on board after the COVID situation, I think most hospitals have done really well, and at least for the next couple of quarters, you continue to see that. The only issue I see here is basically I think they are all very fairly priced. So one has to be very selective, basically, if one looks at. So my top pick still remains to be Apollo because of its diversification, multiple geographies, and the size basically, and their capex is largely behind them. So we continue to like Apollo there. As far as rail stocks are concerned, Prashant, I think largely a PSU story is still playing out everywhere. Yes, we are seeing a lot of capex being done by railways, and that is slowly year after year. If you look at it, the capex has been going up as far as railways is concerned, and I think a good majority of that goes to its own companies. So definitely the order books for some of these railway companies must be up. We do not track any of them, so difficult to tell me basically which stock and why all these are moving up.
But particularly for Kim's, any thoughts, Krishna Medical? Because, it's had a fair amount of a rally since listing, and the company is now looking for acquisitions in the next 6 to 12 months. They're looking to add about 600 to 700 beds. Is that a story that you like?
Sorry, Sonia, we don't cover it. Yes, it is interesting. Actually, there's no doubt about it. But to give you a fair whether to buy at these prices, given that we don't cover it, I don't want to comment on that.
Okay, all right. Nischal, I just wanted to ask you about these insurance companies. What's your view out there, whether you're tracking it, whether it's Star Health or LIC as well? It came with so much of fanfare, sucked out a lot of liquidity, and those who got IPO, shares, they won't be too happy. But there's some bit of a relief that's come because the IRDAI, they've released revised consultation paper on expenses of management as well as commissions. Any view on the space and LIC at these prices? Will you look at it?
Yeah, definitely. I think LIC is an interesting play at these prices. Even at the IPO prices, we were positive at LIC actually, and it is much, as far as valuation is concerned, it is much cheaper than most of the other private sector plays. But the issue is happening in the sector is basically the growth. I think seems to be a bit slower than what the market was expecting. And then because of the COVID, you had too many of issues, especially as far as their profitability got hit because of issues related to COVID. So I think they are coming out of that, both the general insurance as well as the life insurance. But at these prices, LIC definitely looks good. The other one which we like is SBI Life in that space.
Okay.